What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and first of all, apologize for the soft hum that you probably hear in the background. It's hot in here, and I need the fan on, but hopefully, when I do the noise reduction, you won't hear it. Anyway, of course, we had the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. It's been 2 weeks at least. No, it's been more than 2 weeks. God, it's been 17 days. That's crazy. And it's been a crazy 17 days at that. Which makes me glad that I waited to do this commentary about it, because it's crazy. A lot of people are upset, and rightfully so. But this whole situation just goes to show you that there are a lot of things that happen outside of the scope of what you're focused on, in particular gaming. A lot of ins and outs and things that happen in between and behind the scenes that can affect your hobbies, your interests, however you frame it. And that is 100% true with this situation with the Switch 2. Now, some of it is, of course, Nintendo, but a lot of it is out of control of their spectrum. And it's just wild. So first, we're going to talk about the Switch 2. So we're getting a 4K Nintendo machine, which that's amazing, especially since it's a hybrid. It's a handheld that can be docked and played on TV. If you dock it, you get 4K. You can get up to 120 frames per second. They have different modes for you to just pick through depending on the game, the settings within them, all that good stuff. Undocked, you're gonna get 1080p. I believe you still can get the 120 frames depending on what game it is and your settings. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool. They showed some games. They showed the new Mario Kart, a new Donkey Kong game. They showed how some of the already released games on the original Switch will get an upgrade if you so choose to get a Switch 2 and play those games on there. Of course, I believe if you already have them, it's like some games are going to be free. I think some games might have the $10 upgrade like Sony did. But overall, it looks interesting. You're going to get a lot of third-party games like they showed. You're going to get the new Borderlands game, Call of Duty, all that good stuff is coming to Switch 2. So, you'll be able to play stuff that generally is made for Nintendo consoles outside of exclusives and exclusive, and just your basic third-party, standards are going to be on there. Again, finally coming to the 4K era makes total sense. They also upgraded the storage. I believe it said it's what was it, 32 gigabytes? I forget what it was originally. Let me look, because again, it's been 17 days, y'all. So forgive me, because my focus hasn't necessarily been on the hardware itself, but just the overall, discussion about it in the aftermath. So they did this whole, presentation. They talked about the different specs and the things that you can do. The fact that it has that chat button, so you don't need a headphone if you're playing with friends online. It actually has a built-in microphone, so you can chat with them. You just hit the chat button to activate it. Things like that. It seems to be, more. You can also put a camera. I forgot about that. If you have a compatible. God, why is that word so hard? Compatible USB-C camera, you can install that into it, and you can do video chat with your friends, which is pretty damn cool. It's definitely a big boy machine. for Nintendo. And look, I know we always frame Nintendo as like some childish thing because we've all been indoctrinated into the whole like everything's online gaming, shooters, action, blah blah blah, care about specs, whereas Nintendo's always been viewed as the kiddie thing. But now there's no reason to try to put Nintendo in that category because the system does just about everything that the other systems do, even if it's still at a lower level than what we currently have for like PlayStation and Xbox or PC. But it looks cool. It's priced $449, which a lot of people kind of raised an eyebrow at, because I believe the original Switch came in at about $300, $250, or I think it was $300 for the Mario Kart bundle. Where this one, it also has a Mario Kart bundle that's going to be $499. So it's comparable to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles. And a lot of people are like, hey, that's a little expensive for a portable, which, one, it's not just a portable. Again, it's a hybrid. Two, all the money y'all were paying for them Steam Decks, I think the pricing is kind of fair. I think the problem though is that the pricing is it seems more reflectant on the current political state, which is crazy because a lot of people are speculating that the price is built the way it is due to this whole thing with tariffs and stuff like that. And it's becoming a little bit more evident and clear when you've seen the different statements that have come out about how like it may cost this much in this country, it may cost that much in that country. Potential that it could raise in price. This may not be the set price. There was a delay in the pre-orders for the US for the console, and again, this is something everybody figured was being based on the speculation of how tariffs was going to affect the cost of shipping this to the United States. And even other companies put out, like, retailers put out statements about this. I saw a statement, finally the US pre-sale date came out on the 19th, which is today, the day that I'm recording, and retailers got ahead of it, put out the announcement, and also added extra stuff like, hey, the console is going to stay the same. This one in particular I'm talking about came from GameStop. They were saying the console is going to remain the same. It's going to be $449 or $499 for the bundle, regardless. But the price on peripherals, accessories and things like that, are subject to sudden change. It may not be what was announced when you first heard about it. So it's like, the $70 to $90 price point for controllers, whatever, that may not stick. And I wonder if this will affect games, because I know there was a lot of controversy when Nintendo came out and said that games will have variable prices depending on what they are, which to that, I've always been someone who said, like, we've been blessed to have had decades of standard pricing tiers for console games, for games just in general. As again, when the Nintendo first came out, Sega first came out, when the console boom after the crash came around, games used to cost upwards to $120. And I feel like part of the reason why we're getting this is that I think we kind of set that precedent with the GTA talk, like where people have been openly saying online they'd pay $120 for GTA 6, which wouldn't be throwing that out publicly. And I just think, like, just the trend of how gamers spend on certain games, like, we buy the DLC, we buy the season passes, we buy all that stuff. Like, some of us don't, but a a lot of us, if it's something that we really, really want, we'll indulge in. And Nintendo has been reading the room. If people really, really want something, they will pay a certain price. So yeah, it seems unfair, foul, but the market dictates that there should be raises in prices as costs have gone up, which I know none of us want to hear that, but the other reality is, hey, our spending habits help, make companies test the fences, so to speak. And I think Nintendo testing the fences, it seems absurd now, but when this shit drops, y'all motherfuckers are gonna pay that money for Mario Kart. Y'all are gonna pay that money for, the next Zelda. There's already people who've already been sitting here, rationalizing that shit. So they can't necessarily blame Nintendo if you're gonna eventually just fold and indulge in it. If you're not gonna indulge in it, then you can say all that. But if you're going to buy shit and still complain, well, it makes no difference, because you've already committed to what they're having planned, and you've shown them that you're willing to go with it. But it is what it is. But yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing how this goes, because this is the first console in this, I guess, maybe one of the first major products, period, that, a lot of people have been looking forward to, that is going to come out in this era with the tariffs and all that. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes and how people react to it. Because if it comes out at $449, but in a couple of months they'd be like, nah, we got to raise the price to $549, and people are still buying it in droves, it's just going to validate certain practices that we shouldn't be validating. And I know you don't want politics in your things, your sports, your games, any of your entertainment, but that shit is affecting it right now, and it's something that you need to pay attention to. For real. But anyway, as always, you guys, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you're thinking. I'll haunt you later. It's your boy Blak, Magus in the Mount. Deuces.